I am working on labeling Effection right now, and I started a little bit on this last week, so kind of continuing off from where I stopped. And I've got a little example running. Whoop, wrong browser. Here we go. So we've got a couple of labels in here already. I got this exec labeled and listen for error labeled. And these are all the processes that are running. And I'm currently working on trying to get this event to label nicely. And it'd also be nice to like freeze or play this back at some point too, but more things on the to-do list. So I stuck in that boop there before. So we know it's being labeled from right here. In events. But for some reason it's not actually bringing through this name. I would have expected that to be coming from... Yeah, we're doing it with labels. So it's spawning this task, it's doing an on. I'm just running it with labels, which should be labeling it. For some reason it's not, and that is where I left off last time. Yeah, it would be nice to do... It would be cool to do some like D3 or React Flow or something like that. I think that would look pretty neat. But even with the current iteration we have, taking some inspiration from like the React dev tools would probably be helpful. All right, so we know we've got that task spawn here. And I don't think we're getting any values from anywhere else. I don't have any other on. Streams. It's got to be coming from that, so why is that not? We're setting the name. Speaking of which, setting the state here, and then we resolve the state here. I don't know that it's actually doing that. Yeah, so we might need this like completed state. Seems like there's something missing there because it's not updating the state. It just marks it as green. So I don't know if that's like I imagine it's a combination of design and functionality issues there. We use with labels anywhere else? I think that's the only place that I've really used it so far. Might need to look at the code for that. So I'm not sure where. Name. Event source. to return. Let's see what this does. And name. Oh. We also need to do packages, and that's an event. I think we're going to do prepack -- watch, and I believe it will continually build it for us. So I noticed it said we still had our boop in there, so it had not updated. It'd be nice once we get. I didn't watch it, did it? Nope. Not gonna work either, is it? Test prepack docs. Prepack. Thought I had it working with watch before, but maybe I am misremembering. Guess not. Okay. There we go. That's more what I expected. The source. This is a WebSocket connection. Oh, we've got all the events. Okay, so we gotta watch the data event. Data. A socket. It's not gonna be terribly helpful. Yep. So data, where is that being set? I remember to keep my chat open. So when we call on, getting coming from Effection events. It's just exporting it directly. So there must be some form. Where's that with labels come from? What if this with labels is not working how I'm expecting it to? Effection core. Okay, so it's setting the labels directly on an operation. So on needs to be an operation. And it is a stream. Interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do much with that then. I know we were talking about being able to label anything. Yeah, I can play you in the stream if you want. You can either do it, cool. Let's see if we can get that hooked up. Check out our 1Password. There should be a login. It's like Twitch front side chat or something. Hey, it's something. Just be happy that the puns haven't come out yet on my end. Yeah, so there should be a login, and you can do the guest one stream. That password, it'll ask you for it when you attempt to visit the URL. All right. There should be some URLs down in the Twitter. There's 3 URLs. There's a director and there's 2 guests. You click guest 1. It's a WebRTC, and you can stream directly to that link, and that should show up right in my OBS if I have it set up right. Yes. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Here, let me see if I can pull it up. Can you hear the cat? All right, shared Twitch frontside stream room. There's a password and 3 links. Let me know if that's unclear. All right, so I think I'm gonna just bail on trying to label these. Maybe I'll make a note here. They're in 1Password. Can I just give you a link? Might be able to just send you a link. Otherwise, here I can send you the link directly. All right. So we got exec. There's data. And exec also ends up running daemon, so it's probably the next one we're gonna want to take a peek at. So here's a good way to like stop this. There we go. So Zek runs a couple on data. I mean, theoretically, these are all labeled. Here's one submit though. I think we've got one of those. All right, you added yourself. Let's see if it's loaded yet. I see you in the room, but it's not showing up in OBS. Oh, I see. Okay, it came in with a different ID. Go ahead and leave that room. Oh, I wonder why it. So there's specific like guest IDs that we've set, and that's why it's not working. So when you joined, you came in with a different guest ID. Do you still have the? Do I have the director link open? Nope. I suppose it's claimed by somebody else. Interesting. Oop, there we go. Okay. All right. Now, if you join with that second link, guest one website, give that a shot. Hopefully, you should just show up in both of these. There we go. I think we got you. And boom. There you go. Can you hear me? See, I cannot hear you through the stream. Need to enable. Oh, I can hear you now. There we go. Cool. Yep, I can hear you. Yes, testing, testing. And now I don't think I can. I can also share my audio through through that link. You just want to watch that instead. Virtual. Yeah, I think so. Yep, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me good? Cool. Okay, cool. Hmm. Interesting. Why does it work on because it works on like Zoom and whatnot, right? Nice. That makes sense. Oh, yeah. No, I can send a link that gives it HD, but it looks like I might not have updated the link in 1Password. So this is mostly just WebRTC, and a lot of it's just run off of query params. Where is okay? TRB. Yeah, it should be in there. It should be TRB 2000 is the auto select. It's still not great. Um, Audio, video. Ooh, how about that? Okay. Yep. When I selected the video source, it was set to balanced. Okay. Not great. Okay. I mean, we could always do audio through here, and you could watch the Twitch stream muted, because that should be full quality. And then at least the audio is going to be real time, or as close to it as we can get. Oh, okay. Virtual cam. Okay. All right. Yeah, so these listening events don't seem to be. I'm not quite sure where it's pulling in the actual name, because I can't seem to pass in any data, at least not with labels. I thought we had enabled it for streams, besides just operations, but maybe not. Oh, not signed in here. Let's fix that. Okay. And Effection. Add value streams. might have to put a pin in that one and come back to it. Effection, process, atoms, WebSocket. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. With labels. So there's kind of like two ways you can do it. You can either use labels directly in yield, and that works when you're within the context of a generator. But if you're just yielding on something, you want to have that function have a label. I believe the only way you can do it is with labels right now. It's essentially changing the dot labels property of that function or of that operation that you're yielding to. This should be on exit. I guess makes sense. Nice. Don't they have? I thought there was a community plugin for logos. Hmm. Like Amazon or something like that. All right. I'm definitely looking forward to when we get the project references all set up. Yeah, the having to run I missed it. Having to run pre-pack and everything is sort of painful. Pre-pack. TSDX isn't terribly fast at building, so particularly when you have 2 or 3 things that you're, oh boy. Mm-hmm. And yes. Feedback. Yeah, we did Min, Paul, and I, we had started working on Min had started on switching over to TypeScript, and then we were helping with configuring project references. So we'll hopefully have that in there soon. Right now I basically have to time when the child process runs a bunch of the subfunctions just to be able to like see the output because it runs and disappears so fast. Missed it again. It's like a bad game. Okay, on exit. So listen for error, bunch of on data. Emit once. So it's interesting that the source is coming as an object. I guess it just expects a string. Once emit. Source toString. That was one that we had done previously. So it's just taking the source and doing toString. I think that's always going to be an object though. Let's see, event source. That's child process. They pass multiple. No. I could maybe do is I think I can say type source if type of source equals object. Probably gonna come out pretty ugly. So it's only ever going to be a object is what TypeScript is saying. I get type never, which I believe means that I can never Yeah. Yeah. So that doesn't really make sense to do call toString on that, right? Oh, and that one doesn't potentially have that. Oh, okay. Is that, can we change it? Uh, once source once.ts. Ooh. I mean, we've got on, emit, and once. Listen. Did you mute yourself? Can't hear you now. Yep, can hear you. Oh. Are you running it out of, is that out of Chrome or Safari? Oh, okay. I think it actually mentioned something about that. So I think it suggests use Chrome. So we do some symbol.toString tag. So that's probably where those come from. Send it. I wonder if we can, and it's just setting it on the label. If we do, so I think this is, like, yeah, like it's sort of in, well, it's expecting source. Like, I mean, it expects it on emit calls. Yeah, it's on and on emit, and on emit call. That's the one I'm doing right. Once emit, I'm doing once, not on. Once. It's expecting source on event name. And then it's setting the labels. Yeah, that starts on line 60. No, I think it's calling it from the child process that's passed in. But we're using with labels, which I think overrides the labels for the specific return. So I think we might be able to do, because we're passing name. Can we pass a source? Got to pre-back. Wrong browser. Ah, missed it again. Source, child process. Yes, that does work. Okay. So I set, so the with label is like overwrites the label if it exists. So I know that once emit expects source and event name, and it's setting the labels using the source. So I just replaced source. So it does like a deep merge of the labels that exist and the labels you're passing in. So I'm basically overwriting source there. So it's sort of like we set the defaults for the low level stuff, and then you can kind of just keep overriding it at higher and higher levels to add additional context if need be. Listen for error. We've got it once. So in an ongoing event, the one that just keeps on running is on, and once is just for a single event. I presume in our labeling it makes sense to keep that naming still separate. But once error sounds kind of funny. Yeah, so like this is a event just once. And if I'm naming that, if I was doing an event lister that was just ongoing, I would name it on error. But this only would happen once. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Till first. I'm okay with that. Child process. All right. Let's see what that looks like. I missed it again. Yeah, no joke. Okay. Yeah, I like that until first error on exit. We just have this publisher, which I think comes from event. Got a whole bunch of, so map for each next. That must be in like yeah. I think that's pretty. This listen is pretty deep in there. Label stream. Pretty sure we talked. Oh, yeah, that's it. We were like, oh, it totally makes sense to label streams. But it ended up messing with the type system because we then had to like fix all the types to consider if it was a stream or operation. So it made sense for what we were working on directly and like 1 or 2 levels deep, but all the types kept cascading. So then we undid it. So that, yeah, we're not going to be able to label the streams. I will just put a future to standard out and standard here. Alright. So I think I've got exec done. Need to copy it over into POSIX as well. Yeah, when I first started doing this, I forgot that we had both POSIX and Win32 versions of this. Well, there's a bunch of overlap. There's enough that it probably makes sense to keep them separate. But I'm like, why is this labeling not working? Spent like 15 minutes just like rerunning it and adding console logs everywhere, and I'm like, this is just what's happening. No joke. Yeah, that was Jordan and I were co-working. And I just was like, oh no. Stand up, walk away from the computer for a couple minutes. Yep. It's like that one, there was a, I think it's like a comic or something. I don't remember who did it. But it was like 6 panels of this character just sitting there kind of staring blankly. And then like the 6th panel, their presumed partner was like, is there something wrong? Did I do something wrong? And oh no, I'm just trying to solve this problem. This whole time the predator was like thought the character was angry at them. And really it's just absorbed in this one problem that they weren't able to figure it out during the day. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like we're gonna try out vanilla extract on our website. Seems like it'll be potentially helpful. We're hoping with the scoping that it adds that that'll end up being helpful for Docusaurus, because Docusaurus sort of comes with its own design system already. Yeah, yeah, it does that like CSS and JS scoping thing. But without the runtime overhead. All right, listen for error and emit once. All right, now I think I just need to figure out the daemon. Nothing in error. API is like all types. Daemon. I think it's not really like examples, but and I don't know that they really. I don't know that necessarily makes sense to like commit to the repo, maybe in just the README or something. I'm trying to pull. Oh, here it is. We end up kind of having to make little snippets for testing all these different things. So like I wrote this little snippet too. This one does a fetch. I think it's actually outdated now though. I got it in there. Yep. Oh, that's a fetch one. So execute subprocess. Yeah, so I've just been, rather than just tossing them out after I make these little snippets, I've just been writing them down. Maybe we end up figuring out somewhere to put them. Yes. Yeah, like guides or cookbook or something like that. Just in the docs, maybe. Yeah, so like this one that I was just testing with, it's basically just sleep and then running a curl. Oh, I should turn off the. So it's just curling out to weather.in, which is a website that displays nicely in your terminal. Shows you your weather based on your IP. All right, Google. Mm-hmm. Specifically for the inspector, you mean? Hmm. Oh, right. Call it a day. Okay. Well, thank you for stopping in. Good luck. Switch back to this. All right. All right. We got anybody lurking around? Yeah, a couple people potentially. Get that one written down. I'm gonna move that out of here. All right. I think I could just run this now. I believe it's just gonna open. Ooh. So it's calling a finally, and it's yielding to the daemon. Oh, interesting. Oh. It is not formatting because I have... This is a good question. I assume JavaScript also counts for ESM. We'll find out here, I guess. Yes, it does. Okay. Don't think we're gonna need the spawn. We want to run process. We want to run daemon. We want to. Is that log still coming from the event? I think I'm gonna turn that off. But do not forget to remove it. I did. Do not bundle it. Child process. Is that where it's coming from? So it's definitely still logging out. Maybe I did not pre-pack again. That's potentially the issue. Ooh, that looked like it. Yes, okay. So unable to kill process. Well, that's kind of nice that it actually, now that these things are starting to get labeled, it gives you some of this information in the stack trace, which is rather handy. So it should just be executing node here. Unable to kill process. I think since it's open, I need to do this. I believe yield is going to just keep that running and not try to close it down when it's done. Probably do that. Okay. Seems to be working. Okay. Guess it didn't really suppose much would be coming out. Uh-oh. It appears Control C is not working, so maybe that's not the right thing to do. Let's check out the examples, see if we have one that exists specifically for the daemon. We have some examples in here, but they are rather old, I believe. So we've got, so this is starting up a server. I suppose I could do that and create an HTTPS server or HTTP. That's pretty standard. I probably could just go. Might actually be one right in here. Create HTTP. Well, that's not helpful. Yeah, we definitely do not need to. Yeah. It'll be nice to switch to these TypeScript project references, which will make this bundling process easier. And then I suspect pretty soon thereafter we'll switch off of Yarn, just because it seems the mindshare is sort of not moving towards Yarn version 2. You know, it is what it is. So maybe we don't have a good incoming message from HTTP echo server. Ooh, we do have an echo server. Fetch. That would be in the fetch package echo server. Yes. Okay, I can use this then. That'll help us out a little bit. So we can basically snatch this, do this. Don't need to do that or that. This can go here. Yes, TypeScript. I know this is MJS. Response. Field app response. Why do we not like that? It's declared. Oh, that's fine. We are getting to that. And this is going to be our body. So it's doing this fetch echo server, new echo server. So that's starting it up in the current process. I don't actually want to start it up in the current process. I just want to call it. Guess I'm gonna end up having to do a new run echo server.mjs. So what I can do is I'll run this echo server that we have. Oh, I'm still just gonna have to hard quit that. Go. And Effection. So we're gonna have just this little wrapper around this test helper that opens up a server. And it'll be .run echo server. That's what we're gonna have. And what that is gonna do is it's gonna do this. Nothing extra special here. We want to say import, this is an MJS, so we can run it directly. And we want to import, it's just echo server. So we can just grab it here. This, we want to do this. And this will instead be packages slash fetch. Slash test slash echo server. Oh, it's a .ts. Not cool. Okay, well. Not particularly happy about this, but we're just gonna quickly convert this. Not too difficult to just do this. And all we need is a simple test case, so we don't need to get too fancy with it. You and you, all of you, private. Okay. Format. Why do you not like this? Oh, yield. I'm yielding. Yes. Format. Document. Okay. So when we run this, it should error out. Oh, new task. Nope. We have a task. Why aren't you keeping this open? Oh. Because this is expected to be a generator. That's annoying. Well, we'll do this. Because we need to yield to that because it is a generator. So this will just run that function directly. Spawn of undefined. Scope. Scope is from this. Scope is being pushed in through the constructor. New echo server. So where's it getting? Oh, task. For each task. Interesting. I didn't realize before each had a. Huh. That's some fun wrapper stuff there. I don't think I've actually tried to do that in Mocha before. But that does mean that now it's expecting a scope here and we're not passing the scope. Where can we get that scope from? Helpers. When, never, fetch. How long have we been going here? Hour and a half? Not too bad. I am going to take a quick break here, I think. Where is this? I will be right back. Alrighty. How's everybody doing? We'll be playing it out. double checking messages here. Kind of interesting that you can help enabled. Oh, that's nifty. Interesting. Kind of interesting that you can only hook up Discord to one stream profile on Twitch. But anyways, okay. So we need to figure out how to run this Echo server because it's running in the context of a generator and it's expecting a scope to spawn off that scope. So we need to be task. Where is it getting task from? For each task. I think I can just do this. I don't think we've switched over spawn yet. But also I'm oh wait, no. This. Excuse me. Need a button to mute. All right. Done clearing my throat. All right. So we have a scope, and we're doing scope.spawn. Not sure where that task comes from. So it looks like it's coming from the operation. But it's mostly in our test. We're getting it from the scope of the oh wait, run comes from core. So I think I can do return run. Run is going to be our scope. That does that. Why are you complaining? Oh, this. And then we can do import run from Effection. All right, pretty. What don't you like? Scope. It's coming from H. Yeah. What are we not happy with here? Once. We're returning that. Try finally. Are we missing a squiggly bracket or something here? That's that. That closes that. That does that. Interesting. In here. Oh. Are you just fine now? No, you're not fine. On 49. Oh. Yep. Interesting. I don't know why it was throwing that error. It was like it wasn't yield once. Unexpected strict mode. Oh. We need this to be a generator. Okay. This.htp is create server. Never remember what that is. Shift Alt F. Oof. Okay, so it is running it and stopping. Why is it not keeping it open? Spawning, try, catch, spawn. The yield there? Okay. So I think that works. So I think we can do console.log listening, and we should be able to see that. Yep. So I think it's just gonna hold that open now. And even if this isn't working exactly how we're expecting it to work, as long as that process just keeps running, we're sort of fulfilling the thing that we were trying to fulfill. So I think we can do here, run echo server.mjs. And I think we can, well, I don't know that we need that, but we'll just comment it out for the moment. So now we can do node process listening And it should just keep it open. There. So you can see we have an exec. We have a bunch of tasks. I imagine that's mostly coming from our echo server here. So we're doing it once, and we're doing some of this scopes.spawn stuff. And we're not naming any of it. So I'm not too worried about that. I think the thing that I do want to make sure that we address, though, is it's not an exec, it's a daemon. And all of this other piece here is all things we have seen before. So future. Let's just double check. We've got a couple issues open. Oop. Issues, come on, there we go. We want to do fetch, export. We want to do Atom and WebSocket server and WebSocket client. So I think we can mostly just work off of the exec here. This one. Everything else seems to be reasonable. Because I don't think we can touch this, at least not in the scope of this PR. And then these tasks is we're running exec. Yeah. So I think we can say, I think we can just with label the daemon and it's going to give us what we are hoping for. So we do daemon, we want guess we did most of it in here, didn't we? It's with Effection core. We want to do with labels. With labels. And we want to yield to this exec with labels. So daemon uses, you can see here it's using pretty much that exact same thing. As we are using in an exec, but the difference between exec and daemon is that daemon is expected to run forever until you send it a signal to shut itself down. Whereas exec is sort of a run, there's an expectation that it's run to completion. So we can say name is daemon. State is running. I mean, that's fine. I think that's fine. So we'll format that. Come on. So theoretically that the fact that this is within, probably just take this out. The fact that this is within a main function of Effection, it should be handling the events for us as far as Control-C goes. But it appears that it's not. I think we're going to want to take a note about that. There might be some issue there that is being overlooked. Either in the code or on my end. We're going to say runs a daemon echo server. And JS. This file runs the echo server. To do it appears that this does not respect Control C. And we're working on Windows right now, so. Okay. Jotted that down. So it's kind of unfortunate, but I think we just do this. Probably gonna end up having a bunch of hanging processes that I'm going to need to close, but that is what it is. Process. Okay. So we are running the echo server. Is there anything else extra? Guess I can say here. Say this runs the, or this is the run echo server.mjs that is called in the script above. Okay. So this should give us exec. And it's saying listening pretty quick there. Which is sort of, it's definitely not. That is frustrating. Oh boy. Okay. We'll open this up right away. And it's still saying, oh, you know what? I didn't pre-pack. Did I? We're coming on about 2 hours now here. We might end up calling it a day here pretty soon. Front side. Effection. Node. Process. Away. Come back. So it's still saying exec. Yield with labels. Name daemon. I don't know that it's actually the with labels is working on exec either. Because task. So exec is not actually a resource. What is it here? Command string exec options, interface exec, API. Oh, it is exit standard IO exec options. So .join is the operation. You know, I wonder if we could do. So we're yielding to exec, but then we're calling .join. I wonder if we can do it on the .join, because that's really where it's happening. Otherwise return process. So let's try function boop. And see if our boop shows up somewhere. Oh, that's gonna be frustrating. No, I can't reorder these, can I? I think there's a way you can, but I'm not actually sure how to. Oh, apparently I made it go away. Huh. Curious. I killed it. I'm gonna have to work on those shortcuts. They've added more to that now. It's definitely a lot nicer. CD packages. And we want to go into process. CD packages. Oh. Packages. Event. We just prepack. So node. Process. Okay, so boop is that. So it is actually showing up in there. So it's that whole yield. So I guess the expectation here is that so if we end up yielding on process.join, that means that it quit, basically. Because otherwise it's never going to yield. So we throw the error if that does end up happening. So I think we end up doing the same until first error here. So we can call it I think we're gonna do label. We're doing this because I want to call it and keep that same naming scheme. So yield label name until first error. Process.join. This I think we can do with labels. I mean, it's kind of a listener. We're waiting on listening for daemon exit. Say listening for stopped daemon. And I mean, I suppose I could pass that command in too. I don't know about that though. I feel like that's gonna end up being too verbose. Format, document. This is probably fine. Undo. Convert this piece. Yeah. Prepack, and then we'll run that. Open up a new tab because we froze it. Effection node process. Open. Until first, listening for stop, and then task. So we still have one task down here. Throw daemon exit error. And that's from exec. That is kind of interesting. Why do we daemon exit error? Exit status. So that's coming from exec. Oh, it's coming from error. So we're just exporting it through. Class name message at. All right. Get message exec error. So what is that? It's nothing that we can really. It's exec error. Like, it would be nice to label this, but there's nothing really to label, which is sort of interesting. Because we have class syntax here. There's nothing, no generators or anything. And it's not. So it's waiting, listening, and then, so it's creating a listener that listens for a stop daemon, and then it throws an error if one does occur. And that is it. It's got to be that. So dot get message daemon process quit unexpectedly. Name daemon exit error. So you'd think that that name would be resolved there. I'm I'm not sure how to address that one. We might not be able to do that right now. So I think put a pin in that one. And then let's take a look at this exec, and that might be enough for this PR. Future to do. Are we able to label this error at all? And these things will do a peer review, and Charles might have some ideas that can help us out here. Or we might just merge it in with this future to do that we clean up once we kind of see what the surface area of labeling entails, and we deal with this lack of labels for only operations. So I guess lack of labels for streams and non-operations. So daemon, we're logging, we're yielding. Guess potentially could be the issue. Do not like that, do you? That's interesting. Oh, it's expecting it finally. One sec. Effection node process. All right. Pre-back that again. Run this again, and hopefully this gives us something to work off of. Go away. Exited. We're getting the finally, but it's still not shutting down my server. So I think I need to do try throw an error event. Finally. I wonder if it's that run. Which is that run? That's not gonna work. Oh, hey, look at that. Nope. Daemon exiter. So we get something there that seems to be good. I am gonna do this. Format document. Do your thing. So we're still exiting unexpectedly. And if we do this, it should keep it open. Okay. If we exit, that is kind of awkward that it does that. It has me wondering, but guess we can do this. So we do it within the main process here. We can say finally log exited. We definitely need that yield. Interesting. Um, Exit it, exit it. I guess I don't really need to do this. Guess I need to in the listen. I think I have to do that there. I feel like it's not quite right. There's something going on there. Yeah, and I think that's gonna keep it open. So this all seems good. We got an exec on listen for error until first, publisher, map. So this is the only one that we are having trouble with. And exec. So for some reason that is still not labeled. So our exec happens here. We're labeling the process join. So what is the exact options? Is there anything that we can use in the exact options that would tell us? Shell boolean buffered skip. Map. So it's the working directory. So from the process, or from the point of view of exec, there's nothing that's really telling it. If I'm calling it directly, or if I'm using this outer scope. And exec returns a net to join and expect. With each situation being an exec. So that's a resource, and we're doing resource.net. I don't know that we can actually do it on resources yet. Let's see. How else could we attack this? Well, let's make a note. Future to do. This isn't in operation, so how can we label it? And exec is calling this with options. So there's literally nothing that's doing it except for responding this error scope. And that's sort of just the only wrapper around this. There's really not much that we can actually say with this. Export interface daemon extends resource. Oh, so daemon is a resource. And process is because we're initializing it. I don't know if this will work, but we can try it. Labels process name is daemon, that and that, and form. Ooh, let's not format. Format you. Why are you complaining? Oh boy. Okay. Okay, so it's not thrilled with me doing that. Yeah. We'll see how much it hates me for that. I don't think this is gonna work. Oh, nope. I think we're gonna SOL here. Because we can't do it here. Because that's not the appropriate type either. With labels. I mean, at least it doesn't bother TypeScript. But exec isn't an operation, so the label just basically no ops, which is sort of unfortunate DX, but yeah. Exec. Yeah. I think we are going to put a pin in this one as well. And we will come back to these couple, potentially off stream, and get these figured out. Probably shooting to stream some more of these labeling things. It's kind of interesting to dig into this code a little bit. And there's also some testing that we want to do on our main frontside.com website. And we'll probably end up initializing a big test setup for that. It'll sort of be a multi-purpose content on the basis of that, because it'll be a good example, but also we want that in there to help us out a little bit. So likely a couple more streams this week, just sort of get another flow of things. We'll see if we can bring some other people on and maybe do it other various times to experiment and go from there. I think this is probably good. I'll save this, push this up, and then we'll end up discussing the rest of this in the PR. Thanks for stopping by, anybody that did. Glad we were able to get a stream in. Thanks for trust. jumping on the stream here. And we will call it a day. Bye now.